It's my turn to lead the meditation this morning. And the title of the meditation is Only One. And when I first saw the title, Georgina kind of, in the plane very quickly thought of the title and kind of put it on Facebook and then showed it to me and said, this is what you're going to talk about. Only one. And the first thing which came into my mind is only but only. There's something with the titles Georgi makes up for me. It's either incredibly boring, only one. So, associating with only one, what came forward is partly also only the lonely. Of course, when we look to the whole schools of inner growth, we want to come to oneness. And oneness, if I understand it right, is to become one in the first place inside with yourself. And partly we are not one because there is sides inside ourselves and different areas, feelings, emotions, thoughts. We rather not have experiences we went through in life. We want to forget. We want to kind of push out, this never happened, this is not part of me, this is not what I want to be. And basically that's a sad story. Because in pushing out and dividing ourselves inside and saying this part not, and this part not, and this part not, what's happening is that we start to limit ourselves and making ourselves basically in the ability to experience in our being, in our existence, smaller and smaller and smaller, to a point where we lose connection with the incredible possibilities which are inside us, being in a human body. And being in a human body in itself is already a limitation. At least, for sure, the first part of the lesson we have in being in a human body. Being in a human body, one of the things we have to learn, which is basically not natural to us as spirits. So part of the learning we have is to kind of become aware, conscious, to perceive that we have a separate body, which is unique, which is different from the bodies around ourselves. And based on this, we kind of build a separate, unique individuality, which is one, at a certain point. So through all this kind of, introspection, working on yourself, trying to accept whatever that is, it is what it is. This is who I am, how I'm baked. And you can say, okay, God baked me like this. So that sometimes helps to have peace with it. Or have issues with God, who's only one God. Only the lonely. So when we look into that, then we kind of come to a point where we are a grown-up individual. And being a grown-up individual means that there is an integration of your whole individuality, of all the different possibilities which are there, and you're able to take responsibility for your emotions, your feelings, your thoughts, your actions. This is what I did, this is how I think, this is how I feel, these are my emotions. And then we are adult individuality. Then something horrible is happening. Now, if we take this individuality, kind of build up this, And then the individuality kind of becomes very, very relative. It's not about the individuality anymore. Right now, when we look around, what we see in humanity is that people more and more become selfish. It's all about them. And that's part of building the individuality, to make the separation between me and the outsider, the stranger you share your bed with, the stranger, who is your child. This sounds very cynical, but basically they're strangers as well. Especially when your child is growing up, they become more and more kind of strangers in building their own individuality, being different, having a different opinion, voting for the wrong party. At the same time, and I talked about this before, there is this other kind of thing happening, which is truth on a much deeper level. And we are aware of it all the time. Because although we're separate individuals, we also so much long to belong, to be part of the social machine which is here, to be part of a family, to be part of a group of people, to belong to somebody, to be together. The ability to be together is growing together with the ability to be an individual. If our individuality is wounded or not built yet, and we're not able to take responsibility, it's always because of you. It's because of the system. It's because of the country. It's because of the atmosphere. It's because of we cannot function. So the environment becomes the enemy. And the more we can let go of the because of my mother, my father, my parents, my grandparents, because I'm Jewish, whatever reason we have not to fully be alive, the because of is our enemy. There is a split. The more we are able to take responsibility, the more we are one inside, the less there is because of, and the more we are able to open up to the other. Till we come to this point I mentioned before, where there is a relativity of the individual. In which, if there is a relativity in the individual, we can let go of the individual and move in a much deeper togetherness, belonging, unity. But then, from the heart and the unconditional love which can rise from the heart, we are able to unconditionally accept ourselves and accept the other. Which means that the other can just be whoever he or she is. And this is leading to a very, very deep togetherness. Togetherness on the level of being. I am and you are. We are together. But still there is a separation. This is a unity which I kind of more call togetherness. And the separation is in this because although the love of the universe is connecting everything and is reflecting back from everything towards us, there is still a separation. We didn't move in our experience beyond creation. So we have to move a little bit more deeply inside ourselves. In this dropping of the individuality, and kind of dropping it, individuality means that individuality just is there, but the ability to let go of the I and let go of the M, to move into existence itself. And this is where we really come to the essence of only one. Existence is in all of us the same, in everything the same. And this is where unity really starts, where we become aware, are witnessing, are perceiving through emptiness that we are one in the depth. There is no difference. It's the expression, each individuality is an expression of the same one behind, inside, outside, everywhere, each individual. This opens up the mind enormously and changes the attitude very deeply. Because whatever expression another individual, plant, animal gives to existence, it's part of the whole. It is what it is. And it's beyond judgment. There is a need for it, otherwise it wouldn't be expressed. And on this level, each life on this planet and all of us are of service to the whole and of service to each other. So often we don't really understand how much we are of service. But when we walk in our families, when we kind of walk over the street, when we walk through our lives, so often we just react to our environment automatically. Somebody is angry, we react with anger. Immediately. Not very aware, not very conscious. We have a feeling that somebody doesn't like us, so we reject. And in this, what we're doing, we are service to each other and kind of giving each other lessons. Lessons to deal with rejection, lessons to deal with anger. So the more afraid we are of anger, the more basically what's happening, anger we will meet. And partly because we're of service to each other, so often unconscious. Giving each other the lessons we especially need at that moment. And be each other's teachers in a way. So that's the only one speech for today. A little bit boring. Let's go to the meditation. I'd like to start with connecting with the ID. Everybody knows where the ID is. And then I like to move to the center of the head. Through the focus, just down to the ground, to the center of the head. You know where the center of the head is?
Maybe in the center of the head.
In the center of the head. And then when we look to the center of the head, it's important to understand that we think, that we have a big head, so we have a lot of brain. It's not true. We have a lot of jaw. All this area of the head is jaw. And only here, the upper part is a little bit of brain, and the center of the head is on the basis of the brain. So what you can do is to take 2 fingers above your ears and you draw a line. And then you put halfway the forehead and at the medulla, 2 fingers, and you draw a line again. Yes. And where these 2 lines are meeting or almost meeting each other, this is where the center of the head is. It's in the basis of the brain. It's between the pineal gland and the hypophysis. That's around where the center. It's a very strong point. So we move down to the center of the head, and there I'd like you to place a very interesting color, the color black. It's a not color. Or connect with emptiness. Then we move down, any way you like, to the heart. And again, I like you to place black or the feeling of emptiness in the heart. Then we move down to the pelvic.
Again.
pelvic זה האגן.
Perfect.
זה כל האזור של האגן.
And the pelvic, boys can take the perineum point. The perineum point is between the scrotum and the anus. And the girls can take, I'm describing it very well. Live stream. And the girls are taking the G-spot, which is in the vagina and a little bit in front, like this, forward. There is a very strong energetic point also, which is a very strongly transforming point, transformation point. And again, you place black there. Then you move down, in between the legs, to the earth point, which is in the earth or on top of the earth like this, underneath the earth. And there you connect with light. And then, after connect, I like you to connect with your own individuality, what feels as your individuality. Just take some time to kind of connect with your individuality. What is your individuality, personality? What is the I inside yourself? This giant one I. And then you move with the light around yourself softly upwards, around yourself, and wherever the light gets absorbed, give it time to be absorbed. You move up, 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 up till you reach the idea again. So that's the meditation. Wish you a very, very, very pleasant meditation.